All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. I see some more folks coming in and getting their audio set up with some folks connecting to internet. So we'll give them just a few seconds to get their audio, video, or internet fixed. So just a few housekeeping things before we kick off tonight's session. And I pass it over to our presenters. We just want to remind you of a few things for the duration of tonight's session. You can use the Q&A button on the bottom of your screen to type in any questions to either a specific university or a general question to the audience. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot hear or see you. And this is just one of many different sessions that StriveScan and universities are hosting. So we hope that you will continue to interact with these representatives, not only here tonight, but in the future as well. This presentation is being recorded and it will be available about a week after the event has concluded on the same website that you used to register for tonight's event. And before we get started, we'd like to take a moment to thank our fair sponsor for tonight, Cambridge Assessment International Education. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter for tonight. To kick us off, my colleague Sarah will start her screen share and kick us off for tonight's event.
All right, thank you so much. It is good to be with y'all. Today I am here with Covenant College, and you will see across your screen a beautiful picture of our campus and then our motto, in all things Christ preeminent. I will get into a little bit of our model of education, but before, we're going to jump into our location. So you'll see that's Chattanooga, Tennessee, winding with the Tennessee River around. And then up on this mountain in the background, that is Lookout Mountain, Georgia. And we are nestled right on top, about 10-15 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. Chattanooga is a fast growing city. It's a tech city, an entrepreneurship city, but also an outdoorsy city. We were voted best outdoor city by Outdoor Magazine for 2 years in a row. So lots to do in Chattanooga. A little bit of an overview about our college. We are a Christian liberal arts college. We're only one of 5 in the CCCU, which is the Christian Council for Christian Colleges and Universities. We're only one of 5 that are nationally ranked, and we're the only one ranked in the South. So that tells you 2 things. One, we are academically rigorous, and the second, that we have a national pool. So you'll see 42 different states and 29 countries represented. A little under 70% of our students are from out of state, with about half out of the tri-state, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee area. And our student body comprises about a little under 1,000 students. Our average class size is going to be 18, with the majority of classes under 20 students, which really creates a conversational learning environment, as well as a student-faculty ratio of 13:1. A couple other facts not on here: 92% of our professors have a terminal degree, and all of them teach. So there's no TAs. You are learning under professors that are doctorates in most cases. 95% of our students are employed in their area of study within 6 months after graduating, and 75% or more do internships. Going into our programs, we have 33 different majors, and you can try to pick out one you might be interested in. If you have any specific questions about the majors and what that would include, feel free to drop a question in the Q&A. So yeah, our top majors are probably going to be English, psychology, biology, history, education, community development, which is a poverty alleviation major, is another popular one. And we have 3 goals for you at Covenant. The first one is academic excellence. We believe that your time in college is to learn and learn well and pursue your understanding with excellence. The second one is spiritual formation. As a Christian college, it is really important to us that your faith is growing along with your academics. I mean, we think your faith actually better grounds your understanding of the world when you can include Christ in it. The final one is professional development. We want to make sure that when you graduate, you're ready to excel in your major and that you can jump into work and be prepared and feel well equipped. When we ask our students why they picked Covenant, almost all of them have some variant of the community. And the community is really important for us. We are a residential college. Our students live on campus, and we think that's really important to develop the whole person. So you're going to be learning in the classroom, but there's also a ton of formation that happens outside of the classroom. And you're going to see that in our intentional community, both with our faculty, grabbing lunch with your professor, going to their house for dinner, but also on our halls, learning alongside your peers. I think a great way to pick a college is find people who you want to be around and you want to be like, and go from there. A quick note on our athletics: we are NCAA Division III in the Southern Conference. You'll see listed the athletics we offer, the team sports rather, as well as we have additional club sports and intramurals. We're a pretty active campus. And there's a couple things you need to know about our athletics. The first is that you're a student first and an athlete second. So our athlete GPA is a 3.3 this past fall. We are also the most winning team in our conference of 18 schools, and we have the best win record. But beyond that, we also really want this to be an opportunity for you to grow and be encouraged. So you're going to be mentored and discipled by your teammates and your coaches. So it's not just about the wins, but who you're becoming as you're pursuing excellence on the court or on the field. And then finally, your experience matters at Covenant. We want you to use this 4 years to develop not only your academics, but who you are as a person. And I think being able to have an opportunity to be with people that are going to encourage you in your faith, but also encourage you to study really hard is a great opportunity. So we'd love to have you on campus. We have visit opportunities on our website for this spring, in person and virtual, and check out our website to get connected with your admissions counselors. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And we will pass it over to my colleagues over at Dickinson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Can you all see my slideshow? Oh, sorry, one moment. I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Amy Hall. I am the rep for Dickinson College. Dickinson is a small liberal arts college in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. You can see here kind of where we're located. We're about an hour and a half from DC, about 2.5 hours from Philadelphia. So straight up the highway from any of you in the Southeast. And we are, like I said, a small liberal arts college, about 2,400 students, all undergrads, focused on a very traditional liberal arts environment. So very small classes. We have an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio, average class size of 14, and 45 different majors. You have a whole host of options. And we're an old school. We were founded in 1783 to be a resource for the newly formed United States. And our goal is to provide a forward-leaning education. And we do that through identifying a couple of key topics that students need to learn about. These evolve over time. And what we've identified as your generation's topics, your generation's questions and problems to address are the questions of global education, sustainability, and civic engagement. So these are 3 kind of real pillars, 3 touchstones of a Dickinson education. That first idea of a global education happens on and off campus at Dickinson. When I say global education, most people's first thoughts is study abroad, and we do that. We do that really well. But it also, like I said, happens every day in Carlisle, and it happens in a couple of different ways. It happens in the way in which your classes are taught. 2/3 of our classes are taught with a built-in global component. That just means that they're taught with this awareness of why what you're doing has impacts on the world around you. You should never walk out of a class at Dickinson and say, why did I need to learn that? Why does it matter? You're always being taught in the kind of context of what you're learning and why it does matter. The next kind of way in which you engage globally on campus is the physical makeup of our student body. About 20% of our students are international students. We want a variety of different voices represented in the classroom. We want to make sure that you're hearing perspectives from all over the world. And then the last way that you engage kind of globally on campus is through the actual makeup of our majors. A number of our majors are internationally focused. So like our business major is not just pure business, it's international business and management. It's a true international major. International studies is always in our top 3 most popular majors, as is foreign language. We offer 13 different foreign languages. So you're really engaging globally and internationally kind of every day that you're a Dickinson student. The other side of that is study abroad. And I hope some of you in the audience are thinking about studying abroad. It's a fantastic opportunity. Dickinson does study abroad a little differently. We run 18 of our own programs in 15 different countries, so we run those. So what that means is that there's a Dickinson faculty member at each program. They're based at another university, but that person's there as a safety net. All of the classes you take transfer back to Dickinson automatically for credit, so you can go abroad and still graduate on time. Super important to us, super important to you, super important to your parents, I promise. We want you to have that kind of global opportunity without sacrificing your education. And financial aid and scholarship also transfers back and forth for our study abroad programs. It's really popular. Between 60 and 70% of our students study abroad at any given year. The second big kind of pillar of a Dickinson education is this idea of sustainability. We are incredibly sustainable college. We have a long history of sustainability, and we hope that you hear other schools talking about this, because we cannot be the only ones doing that. But that said, it's a place that we put a tremendous amount of resources, because we know it is a question that your generation will have to be able to talk about, will have to be able to work on. For us, historically, it's been environmental sustainability. So what that means is that we're very aware about our impact on the environment, both in terms of our infrastructure and our education. We're also moving more towards including this idea of social sustainability. So social justice, civic engagement, issues that basically look at not just the natural world, but the human world and what we want it to look like in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So like I said, we do this in terms of both our facilities and our infrastructure, but also our education model. We have a green campus and a green curriculum. And with a green curriculum piece means that every single student at Dickinson must take a course in sustainability to graduate. We know, like I said, that's an important topic, and we're going to educate you in that. That said, we have over 100 different classes that meet this requirement. So you have lots of options ranging from, environmental science to music history to English to business to archaeology. We want you to engage with this question on your own terms. We want to make sure that you have that opportunity, but it is a very sustainable school. This is going to be a centerpiece of your education at Dickinson. And then the last kind of piece of a Dickinson education is this idea of a useful education for the common good, and an education that you will go on to use after you graduate. College should be a great 4 years, but it's not the last 4 years of your life. And we want, after you graduate, for you to be equipped to go out and do things. And so what that means is that we are thinking about every day that you're on campus, how to prepare you to go out in the world, because we want you to have a job when you graduate. We want you to go to grad school. We want you to do kind of meaningful service work. And it works really well. It's kind of very engaged model. Almost 100% of our students will do an internship. Almost 100% will also do research. So it's a very engaged education. And this works out well. Our students are doing successful after college at a huge rate. And 98% of last year's class was either employed in graduate school or doing meaningful service like Peace for America or Teach for America or the Peace Corps within a year of graduation. We want you to have that opportunity. And that hands-on learning model really happens and starts before you even get to Dickinson. We want you to get to know us as admissions representatives before you go. And you should get to know me. All of you down here, I work with students in the South. I'm based in the South. I want to get to know you. So please reach out to me. Please let me know how I can help you and what questions you have. Thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we will pass it over to our next presenter here, Molly.
Hey everybody, just 1 second while I get this screen share set up. All right, are y'all seeing it?
Yep, you're good.
All right, cool. Well, hey everybody, my name is Molly Tortorisi and I'm an admissions counselor at Millsaps College. Thank y'all so much for your time tonight. We are a private liberal arts school located in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're not familiar with Jackson, Mississippi, that's okay. I'm here to tell you. We are the capital of Mississippi. I think Jackson is a very special place to go to college, and there's a lot of reasons for that. First off, there's good food, there's fun things to do. And second, it's just a really neat nature and a place to have, or to be in college when it comes to things like internships. You're always going to be able to find opportunities because just this campus is surrounded by 5 hospitals. The Capitol is 2 streets down, and we have a number of great businesses in the state. So when you're looking for things like jobs while you're on campus, internships, and everything like that, there's a great area in Jackson for that. We also were chosen as a college that changes lives. Basically what that means is a New York Times editor named Lauren Pope went around the country and was like, I want to find colleges that I know are significantly changing students, that in a way they can look back at their time, 30 years later and say like, hey, I know I am where I am today because of Millsaps College. So yeah, I definitely can attest to that. And a few reasons I believe we were chosen were, one, it's just our class size. Our average class size is going to be about 10 students. I know for some people that can seem kind of small, but there is a reason we do that. We want our students to receive some form of a personalized education. Your teachers are going to know you here, they're going to know your story, and they're going to know how you function in a classroom in a way that really serves you well as a student. And also our teachers here on campus, our professors, let me move y'all's faces over, there we go. 95% of our professors are at the top of their field. So they're going to have their PhD or the equivalent to that degree. We don't do teachers assistants, grad assistants, PhDs, anything like that. You're always going to be speaking with your professor. We also have an open door policy with our teachers. So, for example, a lot of times students, after hours will be able to email their teacher if they need help. You don't have to do office hours or anything like that. Our teachers are here to help you. Our faculty is here to help you. We have 32 majors and 47 minors on campus. They range everywhere from your sciences to your Englishes, all the way down to business and accounting. We're 4 pre-professional programs on campus, so pre-med, pre-law, pre-ministry, and pre-engineering. And we also have 5 pathway programs. Basically what a pathway program is you maintain a certain GPA and you're automatically accepted into a program. We have one with Ole Miss Pharmacy, the William & Carey Med School, Vanderbilt Nursing, and a few others to mention. We also have 2 master's programs, so our master's in business administration and a master's in accounting. I do like to point these out because at Millsaps, if you do 4 years undergrad in our business program, add 1 more year and you have your MBA. So it's a pretty sweet deal, and a lot of students really love this option. So at Millsaps, our curriculum, all of our professors got together and they basically were like, we know in 30 years, careers are not going to look the way they do now. The career field is ever changing. So we want to establish a rapport in our students where they will be successful and adaptable in their career environments. So we have 4 outcomes for kind of all of our curriculum we use. Those are thinking and reasoning, communication, integrative and collaborative learning, and problem solving and creative practice. So not only are you going to be learning, if you choose to major in biology, you're going to be learning things about biology, but you're also going to learn how to communicate well with people, how to think collaboratively in projects. We also have a number of different organizations on campus. We want students to be involved. We want you to form a community in campus. And a lot of that is with our 50+ organizations. And the beauty of Millsaps is that if out of the 50, you can't find one that you're interested in, you can always create one. We're also a D3 school, which means, we're D3 athletics. We have 27 sports on campus ranging from football, basketball, tennis, soccer, swimming, and diving. And we also have 12 Greek organizations on campus. So there's a lot of ways for students to get involved. 95% of our students do receive some form of financial aid. Merit-based scholarships typically range from about $18,000 to $33,000. I believe strongly that there's a deep value in a Millsaps education. That has to do a lot. We have great alumni who really look out for students and want the best for students and are always welcome to hire Millsaps graduates as well as parents. We have 19 Fulbright scholars, 7 Rhodes scholars, 2 Truman scholars, and 1 Goldwater scholar. 95% of our graduates are employed or enrolled in a post-grad program within 6 months of graduating. We have the highest alumni salary rate in Mississippi, and we've also been recognized by Forbes and the Princeton Review. So thank you all so much for your time. If you can schedule a visit through our website, and if you want that, I would totally love to chat it to you. If you have any questions, please, I want to be a resource for y'all. I know the college process can be crazy and wild at times, and yeah, that's why we're here. So please let me know whatever y'all need.
Awesome, thank you. And we will pass it over to our Allie.
That's me. Hi, everyone. Let me pull up my slides. I know you guys have been hearing from a ton of schools today, so thank you for bearing with us. All right, so I'm Allie Glover. I'm an admission counselor at Queen's University of Charlotte. I work with all of our students from Western North Carolina, all of South Carolina, and Tennessee as well. So if you're from any of those areas, I'm the one who sends you all of those emails. So I'm sorry, but I just get so excited and I love Queen's. So if you don't know who Queen's is, this is us. So we are a small school. We are located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is the 15th largest city in the United States. it's in the top 10 cities, it's in the top 10 cities in terms of overall happiness. We're the second best city for business, fourth fastest growing job market. So there's a lot going on. So right here is our campus, and then less than 2 miles up, and then less than 2 miles up the road, you are in the downtown area of Charlotte. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds, because I feel like you're able to be on kind of this small, quaint, small town feel campus, but everything in Charlotte is right in your backyard. So we have an NFL team, we have an NBA team, there are major concerts, there's food, culture, art, everything is right around the corner. So talking a bit more about who we are as an institution, we are roughly 2,500 students, so we are able to have an average class size of 16, and all of our classes are capped at 24. So you're able to really get to know everyone who you're in the classroom with. And I feel like that's so great, because we have folks who are from all over. They're from 35 states, and they're from 25 various countries. 10% of our students are international. And so I feel like you get to meet folks who are from all walks of life. They're also spread out over our 42 majors and our 64 minors. I'm not going to list them all off because that would take quite a while, but some of our most popular ones, we have nursing, we have business, graphic design, music therapy, we have an interior architecture and design program, there's sport journalism, so very large range of majors there. One thing I probably get the most questions about is, do we have study abroad? And yes, we do. We are actually ranked 18th out of all schools in the United States. Over 2/3 of our students go to some other country. And part of why it's so popular is because it's built into the cost of Queens. So you're not having to pay anything extra. We had students who went to the 2016 Summer Olympics, and so that was in Rio de Janeiro. They've gone to South Africa. They've gone to Yap. Yap's a country I hadn't actually heard of. It actually takes our students, I believe, 3 days to travel there. And so all of these programs range anywhere from 10 days to 1 full year. And so let's say that you've maybe never even been out of the state and you kind of want to dip your toe in, you are able to do that. But if you're someone who really loves to travel and maybe you want to go crazy, you are able to do that also. So we have academic programs, we have service programs, international internships, and we have language immersion programs as well. Another one of our popular programs I want to talk about would be our internships. So we think it's important that y'all don't just sit in a room and then we don't want you to just learn from a book and then take a test and forget everything that you learned. We think it's important that all of you go out in the world and also learn real skills. So 100% of our students are going to complete some type of an internship. You will have a career advisor, and so they're going to help you through this process. And we found that it works really well. 97% of our students, they either have a job or they are in grad school, and 94% of them are doing something that has to do with what they actually want to do, right? And so all those internships range from ESPN to Capitol Hill. And then I also want to go into our student life. So even though we are a small school, there's a lot happening. We have over 70 clubs and organizations on our campus. So if we have any athletes here, we are a D2 school. So we do offer partial athletic scholarships. We are ranked fourth. We are ranked fourth out of all D2 schools. We have 18 national team championships. We have 3 Olympians. So a lot of athletic success there. But we have all types of organizations that is on our campus. One of my favorite ones is Life Size Battleship. And so our students, they hang out so they all are like in the pool and they're on pool floats. We have that. We have our Black Student Union, student newspaper. We have all types of organizations. So if you are a senior, turn your application in now. Our next deadline is coming up on March 1st. We are a test optional school and every student is considered for financial aid as well as for scholarships. Currently, we are offering in-person as well as virtual tours every single Monday through Friday. And if y'all have any questions at all, please chat me. And you also can reach out to us at admissions@queens.edu. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Allie. And we will pass it over to our friends at University of Illinois. Ebony, it doesn't look like your microphone is connected.
Me now?
There we are. Yep.
Okay, let me just take the headphones off. So let me start over. Hello, my name is Ebony Lovitz. I am the regional representative for the University of Illinois, Urbana, Champaign. I am located or based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I recruit in Georgia, but I also recruit in Florida as well. And I counsel students from all over the Southeast. So we're just gonna jump right into some quick facts about Illinois and the power of the Illinois education. So a little bit about Illinois, we have over 33,000 undergraduate students, altogether about 41,000 students on campus with our graduate students. We pride ourselves on being diverse in the Big Ten. We recruited more minority students in the Big Ten than any of our Big Ten peers. Our students come from all walks of life. So you can see all 50 US states are represented and over 113 countries are represented on our campus. This gives you kind of a breakdown of our campus. You can see that we're totally an in-state school. So we have 59% of our students are in-state. However, we do welcome our out-of-state students with about 25% of our students being out of state. You will also see the increase of international students that we have as well. We actually have the highest international population in the Big Ten as well. So we're very global with our education. Our students are coming from all over, which is fairly cool on campus. So at Illinois, being the 15th public ranked institution nationally, so we're 15th ranked and we're proud about that. We have over 11 academic communities that host over 150 majors to choose from. You may know some of our most notable majors include Granger College of Engineering, which is known for the computer science program, computer engineering, and also mechanical engineering. Those are all top 10 undergraduate programs. The Geese College of Business is a top 20 business school nationwide for a public institution. And our most notable program for the Geese College of Business is accounting. But all of our programs, all of our academic communities have highly respected programs so that when you do leave Illinois and invest in the education of Illinois, you will be highly recruited and sought after when you leave Illinois. So talk about where Illinois is. We're in Champaign, Urbana, sorry. A lot of students ask me, are you in Chicago? No, we're not in Chicago. We're about, this slide actually shows you where we are. We're about 2.5 hours south of Chicago. We're 2.5 hours west of Indianapolis, and we're also about 2.5 hours north of South St. Louis, sorry. So we're in a very convenient location. There's easy ways to get to Champaign, Urbana. Going back to this slide, Champaign, Urbana was ranked the top 10 college town. Our students love Champaign, Urbana. They love the town that they're in. They feel like the town has everything that they need. If you've never been to the Midwest and you're from the South like me, it's definitely a different atmosphere. There's cornfields everywhere, but it's still a beautiful city. I love to visit the campus when I'm up there, and I love Urbana, Champaign. Our students love it too. Talk about student involvement. We have over 1,800 clubs and organizations on campus. So there's something that everyone can do. Literally, if you don't find a club or organization, you can just make your own. We have over 19 competing teams in the Big Ten sports. Our men's basketball team is doing well this year, so we're proud of them this year as well. So you may have seen us on the screen on ESPN if you are a Big Ten fan. By the numbers, we are a preeminent research institution. So 69% of our students participate in internships and 68% of our students participate in research. We are right now, one of our most cool things about research, we're one of the forerunners of COVID testing for a university. We came up with our own COVID test for our students where they're using the swab of the mouth to test our students, and we're able to produce hundreds of results in a matter of hours. Our students are getting tested 2 times a week on campus by our own faculty and staff. And that's some research that's coming from our own research departments. And then you can see 30% of our alumni study abroad as well. With internships, like I said before, our education being a top-ranked public school, our students are sought after, and we'll get to a slide where you can see some of the titles or some of the places that are recruiting our students. And this just talks about support services, how our students are supported on campus. We're pioneering with disability resources. We're one of the first public institutions to have a very robust disability program for students with disabilities. But other things on campus that I like to point out, we have our cultural centers, such as La Casa for our Hispanic students, our Bruce B. Nesbitt for our African-American students on campus to feel at home and find students that they can identify with. So those are support centers where our students can get support. Housing, of course, we have 35,000 residence halls on campus. 11 of them are living learning communities, and you can go to that website, or we could talk later about the residence halls that we have on campus. This slide is important. It talks about the alumni success that I talked about earlier. 96% of our students, when they graduate, have a job offer, or they're going to the first choice postgraduate program. So 86% or 86 of the Fortune 100 companies recruited alumni last year. And you can see some of our companies include Amazon, Deloitte, so on. We have notable alumni. Our alumni include the PayPal, founders of PayPal, the founders of YouTube as well. So we have strong ties to Silicon Valley and strong ties to the tech industry if you're interested in tech. And so that's just some of our notable things that I like to point out. If you're a STEM student, we're definitely a school for you, but we're a great school overall. I don't want to get into the application process. That will be kind of a lot for tonight, but if you do have questions for me, I am your regional representative if you're in the Southeast. Again, my name is Ebony Lovett, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome, thanks. And we will pass it over, last but not least, friends at Virginia Tech, if you want to start sharing.
Absolutely, thank you. So hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. I know it's pretty late for some of you, but we really appreciate your time. My name is Samantha Hanna. I'm one of the assistant directors for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions here at Virginia Tech. And I'm joined today by my colleague, Jasmine, who's going to be helping to answer your questions in the chat. So feel free during the presentation to just ask away. But just to start off, we are located in beautiful Blacksburg, Virginia. So that is up in the Appalachian Mountains. Blacksburg itself is a true college town experience. The entire town pretty much revolves around the university. So even if you're a student living on or off campus, it's really easy to get around. Plus the buses are free, and freshmen, yes, you are allowed to have cars on campus. But yeah, at Virginia Tech, we have something here called the Hokie Nation. And we really like to boast that we are usually in top rankings when it comes to best student experiences. And that's because no matter what, you'll be able to find a home here. We have over 900 clubs for you guys to participate in, living learning communities as well. So everything from cultural, social, academic, really any club you can imagine, you'll probably find it here. So it's really easy to make friends. We also are top ranked when it comes to dining. So if you love eating, if you love to taste great food, Virginia Tech's a great place for you. Last year, we were ranked #1 in the nation. This year, we are ranked #2, but we're usually in the top 5. So if and when you do get a chance to come to campus when it's safe to do so, we definitely recommend checking out our dining halls. We're also a really athletic school. So a lot of our students will take part in either intramural sports if they just want to have fun, club sports if they take athletics a little bit more seriously, or take part in our Division I athletics. We are a D1 school in the ACC. I know Champaign Urbana brought up that they were following men's basketball, so are we. So we're really proud of our Hokies. We're currently ranked number 18 in the nation. But even if you're not a Division I athlete, it's really fun to attend the games because you will sense so much school spirit, so much so that we actually cause earthquakes in our stadiums when we jump up and down to Enter Sandman by Metallica, which is one of our fight songs. So if you really want to feel school spirit, Virginia Tech's the place for you. That said, you're probably looking at college mostly for academics. So what does Virginia Tech's profile look like? Well, first off, we have students from all over the world. They are high achieving. Like I said, they come from all over the world, but also all over all 50 states. And they have the choice of over 110 different majors, which you'll see. We have several of our colleges on the screen here. So I know a lot of you may associate us with engineering, which is our largest college, but we really do have majors all across the spectrum. And it's okay if you're undecided too, because we have undecided majors in all of our colleges, as well as one general one called University Studies. And the reason I bring this up is because major matters at Virginia Tech. When you apply into one major and one major alone, and you get accepted into that major. Once here, you're absolutely welcome to double major, minor, and explore. But when you start to apply, you're going to be looking into which major you want to start off in. So it's important to know. We are a large institution, so we have around 30,000 undergraduate students right now and 6,000 graduate students. But even though we are a large school, it doesn't feel like that, mostly because, again, we're broke up into colleges and the overall environment of Virginia Tech is just super friendly. We are also an R1 institution, which means research is a heavy part of the experience, whether it's study abroad opportunities, research on your own with professors, internships, co-ops. We offer a lot of those opportunities for you, and we usually expect students to take advantage of at least one of them while they are here. I am going to go a little bit into the review process because at Virginia Tech, we do things a little bit differently. So students can apply to Virginia Tech on the Coalition or the Common app, and we do a holistic review process. So that means I'm not just looking for numbers when I'm looking at a student. Instead, we want to see who the student is both inside and outside the classroom. And when it comes to inside the classroom, we actually don't look at GPA. So if you ask me what the average GPA is, it really differs by major, by year. So instead, what we do are deeper dives of each individual student. So all students submit something called a self-reported academic record. And from there, we will look at your academic rigor and your academic performance. Typically for performance, we like to see A's and B's. And when it comes to rigor, that just means we want to see you taking advantage of higher level courses, especially in relation to the major you choose. So if you go for something like engineering, we want to see you doing a little bit stronger courses in math and science, versus if you're going for more liberal arts-based courses, we want to see stronger English and history courses. We were test optional for this past year. Hopefully that is what we are moving forward, but we are not 100% sure yet, so just check back with us. But if we're not, we do super score, meaning take the test as many times as you need to get the score that you're happy with. We also do not take any letters of recommendation or resumes, so it's all about how you present yourself on our application. Now that brings us to the personal side of things. So we recognize that students come to college with many different identities and experiences, and we love to hear about them. But that being said, we actually don't require any large essays. We don't read them. Instead, we have 4 short personal statements, 120 words max. They focus on the 4 points that you see on the screen, and they're very important. So when you're ready to apply, take your time with these, because this is really where you get to live out our motto of ut prosim, which means that I may serve, and show off what you got there. You'll also notice something I didn't mention today. We are one of 6 senior military schools as well. So we do have our ROTC program known as the Corps Cadets. So that's what you're seeing currently on the screen. Deadlines I'm not going to focus too much on, but just be aware that there are 3 different deadlines for Virginia Tech: our binding early decision, our priority early action, and then our space available regular decision. I'd say aim to either apply early decision or early action, depending on how interested you are in our university. We do give out scholarships. We have both merit and need-based scholarships that students can apply for by filling out the general scholarship application and a FAFSA. So if you'd like to learn more about Virginia Tech, we strongly recommend coming for a visit. So right now, of course, visits are not a thing. So we do have virtual visits available on that website. So definitely sign up for one. And hopefully in the future, we can house you on campus when it's safe to do so. But feel free to reach out to me. You can see my email at the top. I'd be happy to work with you. I mostly recruit for Florida. Jasmine Jasmine does some other southern states. I'd rather have her tell us which ones because I don't have them memorized. But we would be happy to help you either way, whether you're from our states or not. So definitely reach out if you have questions or concerns. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your nights to come and share a little bit more about your institutions and all the interesting things that you are doing. We have about 4 minutes left in our time slots, so I'm just going to kind of allow that time for our students that are joining us tonight to enter in those questions into the Q&A box. So students, if you have any questions for one specific university or potentially just a general question that we can help out with, we're happy to answer those questions now, either aloud or via that chat box. So if you have a question, please enter it in there and either tag a specific institution or just mention their name in the question and we can have those answered. So I will
I see a couple. I'll jump in real quick because they're just kind of yes or no questions. So the Carilion School of Medicine is not an accelerated medical program with Virginia Tech. It is our medical school, but as undergrads, we will prepare you for it. All you need to do is probably go into one of our science-based majors, such as biological sciences, nanoscience, nanomedicine, neurology, anything really that works for you, and they can get you towards Carilion. And then, yes, we do have study abroad programs on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. So if that's something you're interested in, you can definitely check that out by checking out VT, Global VT.
Awesome, thanks. So we see some more coming in here and we'll just allow for those to come in. And then the webinar will conclude at 7:45 Eastern time. So depending on where you're joining us from tonight, and just have few reminders before some of our students exit on us for the night. There is a feedback survey that will pop up after you leave this window. It's a quick 4-question survey that is being sponsored by StriveScan. So please let us know and give us your feedback on tonight's event. Simple clicks, it's multiple choice questions, 4 questions. So just please be cognizant of that survey popping up afterwards. And again, the recordings will be available on our website within the next few days.
I think we did get a question that probably all of us can answer. I'll just start off with tuition fees for international students. For us, it's the same as out of state for international students, which is around $42,000, and that does include housing and student fees and things like that, so not just tuition. But we do have a special page on our website for scholarships for international students because it does work differently than students in the US. So, so domestic students do work slightly differently there.
Yeah, and so Queens has 10% international students, but I would say that everyone's cost is the same. And so I don't say that there's like in-state or out of state, everyone pays the same, is the same for tuition, and you're considered for all of our scholarships. So no extra form you have to fill out.
Yeah, Dickinson is much like Queens. We have the same tuition, room and board, regardless of where you're from, you know, in-state, out-of-state, international. But we also do meet 100% of demonstrated financial need for international students. So not just our scholarships, but also need-based financial aid for international students.
There's a pattern going on. We're the same. Same for international students, same for in-state students, and we also don't have out-of-state tuition as well. So same goes for us.
Awesome. So we are right at 7:45 mark on Eastern time. So thank you all for taking time out of your night, to both our students that came out and joined us tonight, as well as our university reps. We appreciate you taking time out of your evenings as well. So students, if you have questions for a specific university, please feel free to reach out to them directly. I know they're happy to answer those questions and provide any additional resources that you may have. And if not, we hope to talk to you soon, and stay well, be safe.
Thank you all.